back to the channel. Today we are back at Durham Raiders and we're playing on a fantastic new map from urbanmats.com. This is Dusty Roads. Please go and check out their website. Today I'm playing Jonathan's Necron dynasty and they have taken over this Imperial city. The resilient little buggers that Necrons are, the game that we are playing today is Tactical Escalation. And this city has been totally abandoned and the Necrons are looking to pull it down and build up their forces. Said the city has been abandoned, this Imperial statue standing in the centre with ammo crates left all over the place. Like I said, it is Tactical Escalation, it's Dawn of War deployment. We've got objective 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here, and of course the Lich Guard on objective marker 6. So let's have a quick look at the forces. So this is the Blood Angel force today. In the HQ slot we've got Mephiston. He's took his powers on Biomancy for once, and we got Enfeeble, Warp Speed, and of course Smite. He also has Force and Sanguine Sword. He's rocking with a unit of 5 Assault Terminators, 2 with claws, 3 with hammers. In the troop selection we've got a full 10-man tactical squad with a heavy flamer and a melter gun. In a drop pod there will be combat squadron. And for the second troop choice we've got Castle the Damned. In fast attack we have 2 units of 5 assault marines with 2 melter guns in each. The sergeants in there have power swords and plasma pistols, and they'll be taking a free drop pod transport. For the second elite choice we have the Furiosa Dreadnought Brother Astromale with a frag cannon and heavy flamer. He's riding in the drop pod. And the third fast attack slot is an empty drop pod for Castle the Damned to ride in. We've also got a Baal Predator with heavy bolters, assault cannon and storm bolter, as well as dozer blades. And rounding off the force of Blood Angels is a Storm Raven with assault cannon, multi-melter and hurricane bolters. Now that is the Blood Angel combined arms attachment. Mephiston's Warlord trait is to re-roll the D3 on the tactical objective cards, but rounding off the entire force is an Imperial Knight Crusader with a Gatling cannon, a battle cannon and a Storm Spear or Iron Storm missile on the top, which is the large blast one. So that is the force today. It's 2,000 points of Necrons. We've got a Reclamation Legion, which is a unit of 10 warriors. We've got a Lich Guard unit with sword and shield. There's 5 of them there with the Overlord from the Reclamation Legion and a Royal Court. We've got Orican and Oberon in there as well. We've got the Tomb Blades from the formation here. We've got another unit of warriors, a unit of 10 immortals, and a third unit of warriors. In the centre we've got Deceiver, and we've got a unit of 10 flayed ones. In reserve we've got 2 units of 5 death marks. As we look across the city, the Blood Angels are entirely in reserve and are going to be leading an alpha strike against the Necrons. Despite us winning the roll-off though, we have elected to go second. So let's move on to Necrons turn 1. Necrons turn 1, Jonathan has drew secure objective 2. Very quick turn, the Necrons are advancing through the city, this warrior unit taking objective 2. Meanwhile the Deceiver and this warrior unit, the Lich Guard and those guys all just edging forward slightly, apprehensive about what is coming. Meanwhile the Tomb Blades have moved and turbo boosted up to objective 5. So that is it for turn 1. Super quick thanks to the null deployment of the Blood Angels. So Blood Angels turn 1, and what we've done is we've dropped the Furioso and Castle the Damned straight down here to try and clear this unit of warriors off, and the tactical squad got a direct hit right in the middle, looking to take out some of the warriors and the immortals at that side. And it wasn't until after I'd already placed my pods that I realised I forgot to draw my card, and I drew secure objective 2. If only I'd dropped the castle or the tactical squad on this side, I could have objective secured that objective number 2, but never mind, we'll maybe get that next turn. So let's move on to shooting. So in the shooting phase, a small victory for the Blood Angels. We managed to scare the Necron warriors off objective 2, and Brother Astromil is just within 3 inches. They have ran. Jonathan fortunately rolling a double 6 for his morale check, and they are running away. Meanwhile, over this side, the tactical marines killed a single immortal and 1 Necron warrior from there. The heavy flamer not even wounding any of them, unfortunately. So at the end of that turn, the score is 1-1. Right, so Necron's turn 2. Jonathan has drawn Secure Objective 4 and Code of Combat. Issue a challenge. Fleeing Necron warriors have managed to rally and have pulled to the outside of the building. We're looking to get some snapshots in at the pair of dreadnoughts as the immortals march forward between them, as well as the Deceiver. So I think there's going to be a lot of shots coming this way. Hopefully one of them can survive. Hopefully. Meanwhile, the warriors at this side are marching in on the marines, and the flayed ones are looking to charge against the guys up here with the heavy flamer as well. And the Lich Guard Death Star unit is marching forward to the centre. I think Jonathan's trying to get a little bit of board control with them. Let's see how the shooting phase goes though. Just halfway through the shooting phase, I forgot to mention the moving phase, that Jonathan tried to deep strike his death mark straight at the back there. Unfortunately, both times scattering into the drop pod and rolling the 1 on both of them. So both units destroyed, scoring the Blood Angels first blood. And as you can see here, 4 marines slain by this warrior squad, and the other 5 slain from that squad there. My dice rolling poor. 7 armor saves, failing 5. Meanwhile, we're moving across here. The Deceiver, Jonathan allowed me to pick the power, and I also graciously picked times arrow. Strength D at Brother Astromil. Fantastic. The Deceiver got a hit and rolled a 4 on the D table. I failed my cover save thanks to being hidden by the drop pod, and then on the penetration table, Jonathan rolled a 6, despite only doing 1 whole point. The penetrating hit, blowing it up. This guy here, Brother Castle, lost a whole point from all of the immortals that were there, and these guys, 2 of them at the front, even snap fired through as well. Marine that was on top of the crate failed his morale check, rolling an 11, and then running back 7 inches. So I think those flayed ones are going to be charging in. I had a look at the angles, and the flayed ones weren't able to actually charge. However, the Lich Guard made an 11-inch charge, multi-charging the drop pod and the war sights on the Lord and Oberon, cutting through the steel of the drop pod. The explosion, however, killing 3 of the flayed ones there. So Jonathan does score objective 4, but he doesn't score Code of Combat. So devastating turn for the Blood Angels there, taking heavy casualties. Indeed, we've only got Castle and 2 pods left at this stage. So hopefully we can come back with a strong retaliation. Blood Angels turn 2, we drew Noble Self-Sacrifice, kill my warlord, not a chance, and secure objective 3, and only the Knight and the Storm Raven is coming on from reserve. The Knight has walked on, he is within 3 inches of objective 3, and there's a lot of firepower looking down on the Immortals and the warriors at that side. The Storm Raven coming in to lend firepower as well, and hopefully help clear off this flank. The Imperial Knight Crusader laying some serious firepower down and destroying the Catan. The Gatling Cannon and the Heavy Stubbers managed to do 3 wounds, and in the end it was the Battle Cannon that had nothing else to fire. The Storm Raven even fired 1 missile, the bolters, the multi-melter, the assault cannon, and everything at it. We managed to kill 2 warriors down here thanks to the Iron Storm missile pod, and Castle failed to do anything to these Immortals. However, he is going to be charging, and with these new errated attacks, he is going to be chucking out a lot of attacks on the charge. So let's charge in and do some damage. Right, Castle the damn charging in and slaughtering 5 of the Immortals. He now has 5 attacks base, +1 for 2 weapons and +2 for charging. He managed to hit with all but 1 and kill 5. Jonathan only passing 2 reanimations, and we managed to make him fail his morale check and overran him. So that is great news. A bit of a comeback there for the Blood Angels. Hopefully next turn when our firepower turns up, we can start and bring back some more points. Now we do score objective 3, which puts us at 3 to Jonathan's 2. So Necron's turn 3. Jonathan has drew Age of the Machine, destroy some vehicles or a super heavy. He's drew Scour the Skies, so shoot down my Storm Raven, and he's still got Code of Combat. He does have a little bit of a plan. So Jonathan's plan, these guys are going to rapid fire into the pod, and those guys are going to lend support and fire to one or the other, whilst the Tomb Blades and a few warriors that are within range at this side are going to shoot at this pod in the hopes of bringing it down, and the Royal Court and the Lich Guard are going to be charging through a castle, issue a challenge, possibly multi-charge the drop pod if it doesn't survive, and see if they can take it out. And he's also got the flayed ones here again to go after that one and try and take it out. So if all goes to plan, he could destroy these 3 here in this one turn. Necron's really showing what firepower they have. The warriors and the Tomb Blades at that side managed to do 1 hull point to this drop pod. And the warriors here managed to strip the last 2 hull points, and the warriors there, everyone within rapid fire range, about 4 or 5 misses, and then Jonathan rolled 3 6s. So out of what's here, we've literally got Cassor on 1 hull point and the Storm Raven. Cassor did suffer a hull point to Overwatch when he charged the Immortals, but now he's got this Lich Guard and Royal Court squad charging in. Jonathan, do you want to roll our charge distance on camera, see if we can get in? That's a 6-inch charge we measured it, and that is 6. Now normally you wouldn't get it, but the Reclamation Legion has moved through cover, so he does make it in, and this is going to be brutal. That was eventful. We did no wounds to Overwatch. We had to kill that lead Lich Guard to prevent that 6-inch charge from making it, and Jonathan issued a challenge with Oberon, and of course Cassor cut him down. However, Orican did bulk out this turn, and it was Orican that got a single glance in on Cassor, glancing him to death. So yeah, that wasn't too eventful. We did get a few extra wounds too, but we insta-killed Oberon, and then Jonathan tanked it on the Lich Guard 3 up invulnerable saves. So he does score, I believe, D3 points for Age of the Machine. Is it D3 for 3? Yeah, so that's 3 points, putting Jonathan at 5 points to my 3. Blood Angels turn 3, we have drew Valor of Angels, Harness the Warp, and Decapitating Strike. Decapitating Strike and Valor of Angels is not happening. Harness the Warp I should be able to get, and the reserves are coming on. Reserves have arrived. The Baal Predator is looking to fire some shots in at the Necron warriors down there with support from the Knight. He can also get some shots in on those nice lovely flayed ones down there, and a heavy stubber at Tomb Blades, and then charge. Meanwhile, one of the assault squads landed here, and we're looking to hopefully support the Knight in taking out one unit or the other. The Storm Raven has dropped to hover mode, and Mephiston and the Terminators are going after that squad there, whilst the final assault squad landed this side to hopefully try and eliminate some of these here. With combined fire from the Storm Raven, I'm hoping we can take out everything, or close to everything, besides this unit here. So firepower didn't go quite well for the Blood Angels. The Baal Predator managed to slay a couple of warriors at this side, as did the Iron Storm missile pod and battle cannon. One of the battle cannon shots unfortunately scattered way off, but they've then failed the morale check. We then used the Gatling cannon and the firepower from the Storm Raven, as well as the Assault Marines. The Assault Marines, every single shot that they had missed the flayed ones, but there is 3 left there. They did pass morale. One heavy stubber went in at the Tomb Blades down here. Mephiston failed to kill a warrior over there. Jonathan passing reanimation, and these guys here managed to kill 2 warriors on this side. So not too great, not too bad. I reckon we can potentially take this unit out in combat though, but we'll have to see. We are going to be charging in. It's worth noting in the sighted phase I did get force off, but not warp speed, unfortunately. So Mephiston doing what he's supposed to do. He slew 4 of the warriors himself. The Lightning Claws killed another, and the Hammers killed another 2. So I killed 7 warriors. However, the warriors swinging back before the Hammers did 4 wounds, and I rolled 2 1s. So Mephiston is on 1 wound. We did then, of course, overrun the Warriors. Jonathan rolling a 10 for his morale check. So Mephiston does score me Harness the Warp for 1 additional point. It's worth noting that last turn, Jonathan did score Code of Combat as well. So he's on 7 to my 5. Nasty stuff. Meanwhile, over this side of the board, the Knight hurtled in at the Tomb Blades, and my rolling has continued to be terrible all game. I got 1 hit, 1 wound, and Jonathan managed to pass his rares. I then got 3 stomps, all strength 6, and he passed every single armor save. 1 wound though did go through, so we did manage to kill 1 of them. However, we were a little bit confused about the rules for super heavy walkers. Can they overrun or not? We double checked and it says that they follow rules for walkers. Walkers can overrun and make sweeping advances. So the Tomb Blades have gone. Jonathan unfortunately rolling the 1 to my 2. The Necron's turn 4. Jonathan has drew Secure Objective 6, Secure Objective 5, Psychological Warfare, and Scour the Skies still. These guys here have regrouped and are going to secure Jonathan Objective 6. Meanwhile, the Flayed ones are going to go after these Assault Marines. The Lord and the Overlord are going after the Knight, and Orican and the 5 Lich Guard are coming after Mephiston and the Hammernator's. Nasty, nasty stuff there. And we've also got the Warriors there looking to obliterate the Assault Marines at that side. We have done the shooting and assault phase. These guys actually rapid fired at the Storm Raven. I elected not to jink, and Jonathan actually got a single glance. Down here, both Lords charged in. I failed to do anything with my normal attacks, and then he managed to strip 3 penetrating hits off with them war scythes. I got 1 stomp and rolled a 6, so removing both the Lords scored me Slay the Warlord. Wish I kind of hadn't discarded Decapitating Strike now. Meanwhile, back here, Orican came hurtling in, issued a challenge, and the Terminator Sergeant accepted, but the sheer weight of attacks between them meant that I lost 4 Terminators. So Mephiston and his lowly bodyguard are running. Meanwhile, down here, we killed 1 of the Flayed ones before they got the swing, and they killed 1 Marine in return. So tied combat there. So Jonathan does score Secure Objective 6, and he does score Psychological Warfare, putting him on 10 points to my 5 or 6. So we've still got Valor of Angels, which is issue a challenge. Blood and Guts, kill something in the assault phase. Hold the line, keep 3 of my units back. Well, there's no way I can do it even with the Knight and the Baal Predator back here. And then we've got behind enemy lines. Well, I've already got the drop pod, the assault squad, Mephiston and the Terminator back there. So as long as they don't die, I've got D3 points for that, and I get to re-roll me D3, hopefully to put me in the lead. Right, so the Baal Predator is looking down at those guys there. He moved 12 inches, so he's only firing 2 weapons. Just to note as well, I am actually on 6 points for First Blood and Slay the Warlord to Jonathan's 8, was it? So I reckon as long as I can get a couple of these cards, I'll just pull it back for this turn. We've got Mephiston and the Terminator going to be charging in to support the Marines in cutting down these 2 Flayed ones. Meanwhile, the Knight is going to unload everything at that unit and then charge to see if we can take it down. Hopefully we can, but we're going to shoot the missile pod across that way for the Warriors as well. The Storm Raven is also going to be unloading everything, and these guys here unloading everything as well as the drop pod, and then charging in the hopes that we can kill those guys there. Right, so not a bad round of shooting at all. This guy unloaded and killed 2 of the Warriors over there. Meanwhile, in the center, the drop pod even lent support as well. Killed nothing. Over here, the Assault Marines failed to do almost anything to these guys, only killed a single 1. Meanwhile, at this side, the Knight and the Storm Raven unloaded everything, and we've actually killed 3 of the Lich Guard. Right, so down here, Mephiston and the Hammernator charged in, and Mephiston cut down the 2 Flayed ones, scoring me Blood and Guts. They are within 12 inches of the table edge, so we'll get behind enemy lines for D3. The Knight also tried to charge in, but unfortunately failed the charge. But down here, the Assault Marines did 2 wounds to the Warriors, and Jonathan failed to do anything in return. Failed his morale check on a 9, and of course the Marines have swept across them, so that everybody is now consolidating, moving towards Orican, the Cryptek that is left commanding Jonathan's 5 models. So like I said, I do score Blood and Guts, and I score behind enemy lines for D3, and I get to re-roll this. Oh, do I risk it? Let's do it. So it's on 7, puts me at 10 points. So Jonathan, turn 5, has drew behind enemy lines and secure 1, which he's not going to be able to do, but he's now got Slaughter the Living, Assassinate and Scour the Skies, so he's got a bit of a plan to put himself ahead, and as long as I don't destroy his models and the game ends, he should be okay for a win. So the 2 Lich Guard have detached from Oberon, and they are looking to take out the Marines here. There is a Sergeant in there, so that would get him Slaughter the Living and Assassinate, and Orican has moved to combat. The Storm Raven is in hover mode, so he's hoping to get Scour the Skies. It is only on 2 hull points as well. Meanwhile, the 2 warriors at this side have shot into Mephiston's back and unfortunately failed to do anything. He was hoping to get lucky with a Slay the Warlord there as well. So let's move into these 2 assaults and see what we can do. So Orican has charged in and only done a single hull point of damage to the Storm Raven, denying Jonathan that Scour the Skies. Meanwhile, down here, Lich Guard made it into combat, and despite me only getting 2 wounds, Jonathan rolled a 1 and a 2 for his armor saves, and then rolled a 1 and a 2 for his reanimation. So these guys actually killed 2 Lich Guard. The 2 warriors there, due to having Relentless for being in the Reclamation Legion, charged Mephiston, and as expected, he cut them down. Jonathan again trying to get very lucky with that. So unfortunately, he doesn't score any points. So as it stands going into turn 5 for Blood Angels, their score is 10 to Jonathan's 8. Right, so looking at Blood Angels turn 5, we drew Kingslayer, which is instant D3. For another 2 points, we've got no prisoners. There's only 1 unit left, so I would score a victory point for killing Orican. Supremacy, I'm already on 2 objective markers, so there's another D3 for 3 points, and overwhelming firepower kills something else. We are going to call the game there because, like I said, there is literally just Orican left, and he's stuck in the middle of all of this. That the Blood Angels and the Knight from House Crast make their mark and take back this Imperial city from the Necron dynasty. Mephiston commanded the Blood Angels well today. The Necrons put up a strong resistance, and it took the entire firepower of the Blood Angel force almost to get rid of the Lich Guard and the Royal Court. City quietens as the Blood Angels start their retreat. This game is filled down at Durham Raiders. Please check them out on Facebook. There's loads of 40k, 30k and multiple other games going on, so please check them out. I will post a link in the description. Today's game was filmed on the Dusty Roads battle mat from Urban Mats. Please check them out. Again, I will also put that in the description. A huge thank you to Jonathan for coming down and bringing his Necron Decurion out to face the Blood Angels. It's been an absolute pleasure playing against him, and hopefully we shall see his Necron force again. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.